And hello everybody, welcome back to British Stand. Now earlier on today I did do a video going over all of the latest headlines from the last 24 hours, and one of the stories towards the end of the video did spark a lot of outrage from the viewers and of course sparked a lot of conversation in the comments. Now I thought, I want to bring this story to light and bring it to more people because it's absolutely disgraceful and it's completely relevant right now considering the way that Tommy Robinson is currently being treated in prison at this moment in time, and we're talking about human rights and all of these kind of things. But this one is quite frankly disgraceful and yet another incident of you being treated completely different depending on your background. Wait till you hear this. A very dangerous asylum seeker who has sexually assaulted a teenager cannot be jailed as it could breach his human rights due to the torture he experienced in Syria, a court has heard. Hassan Abu Hayla was found guilty in November of sexually assaulting a 19-year-old woman in Dorset. His sentencing at Bournemouth Crown Court was adjourned on Monday after his defence barrister argued imprisonment could violate his rights under Article 3 of the European Convention of Human Rights. The Syrian immigrant's lawyer had said that he suffers from PTSD after being tortured in jail under the Assad regime. CCTV footage showed Hayla driving around Weymouth town centre at 3:25 a.m. on December 18, 2022, looking for vulnerable women to target. He spotted the victim sitting alone on the pavement after leaving a nightclub while waiting for her father to collect her. After helping her up from the ground, he placed his hands down her trousers and inside her underwear before trying to get her into his car. The victim refused and shouted for help to 3 passing members of the public, telling them that Hayla had touched her. Now, the defence barrister, Graham Gilbert, told Judge Robert Pawson the doctor's report only came in on Saturday and expressed concerns about Hayla's PTSD. He has several symptoms of PTSD which would be made worse by a custodial sentence. It would also be made worse without the support of his wife and friends. Judge Pawson responded, "A lot of prisoners' mental health gets worse during a custodial sentence. However, we are going to take the utmost care and caution due to Mr. Hayla's PTSD, due to his time suffering torture in a Syrian prison under the Assad regime. Placing him in a prison would provide echoes of that experience." So, this individual, this asylum seeker, the Syrian asylum seeker, is not going to be getting a custodial sentence by the looks of things due to his PTSD and due to it violating the human rights. Now, this human rights law or whatever is obviously going to be there for depending on what you've done as an individual, because the current situation surrounding Tommy Robinson, surely that's against his human rights as well. Now, Article 3 of the Human Rights Convention, inhumane treatment and degrading punishment, the judge must now interpret UK criminal law in a way that is compatible with the Human Rights Act 1998. Hayla of Wentworth Close, Weymouth, was released on conditional bail until his next appearance in April. Now, the Syrian did arrive in the UK in 2020 and has been living in Weymouth, Dorset. And when questioned by police, he claimed that he was only trying to help the victim. However, the judge has stated, "On the evidence before me, you are potentially a very dangerous man. I shudder to think what might have happened." The case has, of course, drawn criticism from former politicians, with some arguing that victim rights should take precedence over offenders' human right considerations. So you can't make this up. This individual, a Syrian asylum seeker, regardless if he's a Syrian asylum seeker, we'll get to that a little bit later on, but this guy has sexually assaulted a girl within our country, and it looks as though he's not getting a custodial sentence due to his mental health issues, due to his PTSD from his time in Syria. Now, again, he's been given asylum in this country. I don't know what his background is and what he did in Syria. I don't know what happened with the Assad regime and his in particular case. However, he's been coming to this country, he's come to this country for a second chance in life, I suppose. Whether he was a criminal or not beforehand, I don't know. He was in prison, he was tortured, but they had a bit of a effed up situation. But looking at like this and what he's capable of doing, what he was trying to do, suggests he was a criminal, and he's always been like this. But regardless, he's come to the United Kingdom, we have granted him asylum, and he's come here and thought that he can do whatever the heck he likes, and tried to sexually assault a young woman at 3:45 or whatever a.m. it was, on a December night outside a nightclub. What the heck is he doing cutting about there? He's there for one reason and one reason only. Evil. He's dangerous. And this guy is currently out on bail at this moment in time, and again won't be given a custodial sentence due to his PTSD. What an absolute disgrace, and it shows the sheer state of our country at this moment in time. It boils my piss. It really does. It pisses me off so much. And with the situation with regard to Tommy Robinson at this moment in time, what about his mental health? What about his human right violations? It just goes to show, depending on your background and where you're from, or whatever the heck you are, will determine how you're treated by the justice system. But that's what it seems like anyway. How on earth can we not be giving this individual a custodial sentence? We have nothing to do with this stuff in Syria. That has nothing to do with our country. Nothing. Nothing to do with our country. We should be treated based on what he's been given. He would be still in Syria if we didn't give him his asylum within this country. So why the heck is he not being treated like every other individual? PTSD of being in thingy. The UK prison system, going into general population, would have been a walk in the park for him. You know, it's not like we've got that much of a hardcore prison system, unless you're in solitary confinement like Tommy is at this moment in time. If you're in the general population and you're doing a crime, there's nothing to do with PTSD. He's not going to get tortured, is he, for God's sake? Get him in there. He sexually assaulted a young girl on the streets of the United Kingdom. And in fact, if I had my way, he'd be getting deported and be going right back to where he came from. None of this crap with his human rights and all that sort of stuff. He shouldn't be coming into this country doing heinous, disgusting acts like that. And it could have got a hell of a lot worse if he got the girl into the car. You know, he's obviously been found guilty of doing it. And again, the sentencing judge has said that he's a dangerous, dangerous man. And I'd hate to have thought what he would have done within that car. And I would have hated to have thought what he would have done in that car. Because he's a predator. He's cutting about the streets early hours of the morning looking for vulnerable women who are drunk. It boils my piss. It genuinely boils my piss. More so the fact that the way our country treats these individuals. Get him in that prison. In fact, get him deported. But if not, get him in that freaking prison. You shouldn't be able to walk the streets. That's it. You've committed a crime in this country. Prison sentence and out. That's it. Done and dusted. Stop pissing around with things like this. But it boils my piss even more the way that Tommy's being treated at this moment in time within this country as well. So big F the system, man. Honestly. Disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful. Guys, do let me know your thoughts on this situation down there in the comment section below. I'm sure this is going to cause a lot of debate. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this Syrian asylum seeker who cannot be jailed as it would breach his human rights due to his torture he experienced in Syria. Thank you guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you later. Take care. Peace.